Gabriel left the country to work for his family, a sacrifice of a father and husband for the sake of a better future. But while he was abroad, he began hearing rumors that there was a man who frequently visited his wife, almost every day. And what was even more shocking was that his own father had moved in with them. Gabriel didn't believe it at first, but because of those reports, he decided to come home without telling anyone. And upon his return, he would discover a truth he never expected. Gabriel and Bianca were once a happy couple, a simple family but full of love. Their only source of income was Gabriel's tricycle. But because of worries about the future, he decided to work abroad as an overseas worker. 2 months later, his father, Oscar, called him and said he would take care of the tricycle. Gabriel had no choice but to agree since others often damaged it. From then on, Oscar also started living in Bianca's house. Months passed and rumors slowly reached Gabriel. According to the neighbors, a man often visited their home, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, and sometimes even at night. At first, Gabriel tried not to believe it. But when more and more people began to notice, doubts started to grow in his mind. Gabriel asked about it, but both his wife and father denied everything. So Gabriel became even more confused. He tried not to let suspicion control him. Every night, he and Bianca would video call, cheerful, lively, and seemingly without any problems. There were no signs of infidelity, but still, why were the rumors continuing? To be sure, he sent a message to a teenage neighbor he trusted. He asked if he could secretly take a photo of the man who frequently visited their house. A few days later, he received the photos. He saw a man he didn't recognize sitting on their terrace, looking familiar with the surroundings, casually talking with Bianca. But when Gabriel and Bianca had another video call, she was still cheerful, as if hiding nothing. So Gabriel chose to stay silent. He didn't want to break the trust without proof. One day, he received a message from a mystery man. No profile picture, and the message said, "Don't you ever wonder why your father is living in your house? He's a man too, and your wife is lonely." Gabriel felt like his heart was pierced. He couldn't believe it. He called his mother, but Cora firmly said, "You can trust your father, son. Don't doubt him." But then came a second message. Every night, Oscar and Bianca talk while the kids are asleep. And that's when Gabriel became truly confused. He couldn't focus at work anymore. Until one day, he decided to return to the Philippines secretly and without telling anyone. He gave an excuse to his company so he would be allowed to go home, but the truth was he wanted to see the truth with his own eyes. Gabriel immediately flew home. When he arrived at the airport, he didn't take a bus. He took a taxi so he could get home faster. When he reached their town, everything was quiet. The kids were at school. Bianca wasn't home. His father was nowhere to be found. He entered the house, and though everything seemed in order, he felt a cold silence that seemed to mean something. He felt uneasy. He went to the tricycle terminal. Their vehicle was there, but according to the drivers, Oscar left it after receiving a phone call. His friend Max arrived and told him, "Gab, your wife was seen in the next town with a man." Gabriel's world seemed to collapse. They quickly got on the motorcycle and went to the place mentioned. According to Max's relative, Gabriel's wife was seen inside a van, looking tired, eyes closed. They followed the van to a house in the next village. When they arrived, Gabriel noticed his father's motorcycle. It was there. They immediately entered the house. They kicked the door open and froze at what they saw. They couldn't believe what they were looking at, shocked at what appeared before them. It was confirmed. His wife and his father, Oscar, were both there. But they couldn't approach right away because they saw Oscar sitting on the sofa holding a knife. His wife, meanwhile, was lying on the bed, asleep. Overcome with emotion, Gabriel shouted, asking why his father was there with his wife. Slowly, Oscar turned to him and said that he was there because he loved Gabriel. He said that Gabriel and his family were the reason he was there. Gabriel was confused because his father's tone was calm and full of concern. He approached him since he was just by the front chair. As Gabriel and Max got closer, they saw that Oscar had been stabbed in the side. Max asked why he was stabbed. Oscar struggled to speak because of the deep wound, but he still managed to say that the one who stabbed him had run to the bathroom. He told them to be careful because that person also had a knife. Gabriel and Max grew even more confused. Max had a hidden gun, so he felt a bit more confident. When they opened the bathroom door, they saw a man covered in blood, lifeless, still holding a knife. And then they realized that the dead man was the same one who had been frequently visiting Bianca. They rushed back to Oscar just as the police arrived. Weak but clear, the old man said, "I was the one who called them, son. The man kidnapped your wife. He forced Bianca to come with him, and I think he injected her with a sleeping drug. I've known about this for a while, but we didn't want you to worry. He threatened your wife that if she didn't talk to him, he would expose an old photo of her bathing in the river. That's why I moved in with you, to watch over your family. We couldn't tell you because we didn't want to trouble you." Oscar also said that the same man was the one sending the messages to ruin him. He only realized it earlier when the man pointed a knife at him. He said that when he found out that Bianca was forcibly taken, he borrowed a neighbor's motorcycle to follow their vehicle. "I came here carrying a knife to defend your beloved. That's why I'm stabbed, but the man who took your wife was hurt worse." Oscar added that even if he were to die, he would gladly face death knowing he had protected Gabriel's family because ever since Gabriel was a child, his father had always been his protector. He said that even though Gabriel now had his own family, he and his mother were still there, ready to defend him. Gabriel cried his heart out, realizing that his wife never betrayed him and that even in old age, his father remained his protector. He carried his wife, who wasn't asleep but unconscious from the sleeping drug. Max helped carry Oscar so they could bring them to the hospital. Then the police entered. Oscar shouted to them that he was the one who called. They checked his phone and confirmed that it was indeed used to call them. So they immediately brought Oscar and Bianca to the hospital. Oscar recovered and his wife's condition also improved. Gabriel realized how blessed he was to have a faithful wife who, despite her struggles, chose not to burden him and to have parents willing to risk their lives for him and his family. A few weeks after the incident, an old businessman arrived, a CEO of a large company in Europe who was once left by his wife when he was just starting his business. But now he was far wealthier than the man his wife left him for. He was deeply moved by Gabriel's story, so he flew to the Philippines to visit him. He gave Gabriel capital so he wouldn't have to work abroad again, and also gave a piece of land where Oscar could live, land close to Gabriel's home. And that was the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, not as a couple filled with suspicion, but as a family reunited by truth and sacrifice. A family strengthened by great trials and the old man who helped them. He was Sir Alexander, a man who was once left by his wife and whose heart was moved by Gabriel's story. If you want to know what happened to the woman who left Sir Alexander, find out in the next story.